So here we are, California Conservation Corps, and today we are talking about chainsaws and chainsaw safety. It's something we use a lot in the California Conservation Corps, and we have some very trained people to help us. And today our trainer is Richard Spillane. He's a Class B faller, and he was on the California Conservation Corps fire crew last year for Ukiah, and he's going to give us some tips on how we can remain safe while using a tool as scary to some people as that.
Alright guys, so I'm going to be going over Chainsaw Basic Safety 101. This is going to be a brief introduction. However, with chainsaws, safety is extremely important, and it can even get into the advanced stages as your cutting gets more advanced. So this is just basic for people that are picking up a saw for the first time or handling it. So the reason why you want to be super safe with a chainsaw is that this blade is more dangerous than a knife or sword or anything of the sorts.
Why is this so much dangerous than a knife?
Okay, well, yeah, the reason why it's more dangerous than a knife is because the chainsaw doesn't cut, it removes. It scoops the wood out of the round that you're cutting, right? So if you cut your leg or your arm, that's literally what's going to happen to your skin or bone, okay? And just in your head, you can picture your skin is a lot softer than this wood, and in about half a second, I can make a really deep cut in that round right here. When opposed to human flesh, it can be an extremely deep wound. And like I said, it would remove the flesh. It's something you can't just stick back together. It's skin grafts and expensive hospital bill, if not serious injury. So yeah, I'm going to go over safety on this. So I guess when you're approaching a chainsaw, before you even pick it up, you need to have the correct safety gear, okay? Now you have all your standard CCC PPE, which is, you know, your boots, your helmet, your hard hat, your gloves, and your safety goggles. But there's a couple more additions to running a chainsaw. Obviously, it's a loud piece of equipment, so you're going to have earplugs. Okay, I like these earplugs because these are designed specifically for chainsawing. Okay, you can use the other ones that the CCC does provide, but if you are doing a lot of sawing, I suggest you get these. These are comfortable, and they also are rated for the actual decibels that this saw puts out.
Okay. Why are earphones recommended or earplugs?
Well, the reason why is if you saw as often as like I saw these other sawyers on our crew saw, you're exposed to this loud noise super long time, and it's going to do damage to your ears. Okay, that's something you don't want to do damage to. Now, when it comes to doing damage to your body just from running the saw, another thing is eyes. Okay, you want to make sure that you have eye protection, not sunglasses, not little Ray-Bans, but you need safety glasses. You can also use bugs. Okay, those are the mesh-eyed goggles that wrap around the eye. Personally, I prefer those because when you're falling a tree and you have to look up, it still provides you protection underneath the eye. Okay, so you guys also got to keep in mind that if your safety glasses aren't on properly, if they're slightly off your head, or if you're kind of, looking at them like this, the material's still going to get inside and it's going to get in your eye, and that's not a good thing. You can get everything from metal shavings to wood, more commonly wood, but still, you can get some serious eye damage. So you got to make sure that you have these as well. Gloves, of course, are important. The gloves that we have right now are, pretty thin leather. It's not going to stop a chainsaw chain, but it might buy you a little time. Like you might be able to, hit it with your fingers slightly, pull yourself away, and only get a stitch rather than lose your whole finger. So you need to make sure that you have gloves on. And most importantly, and unique to the chainsaw, are chainsaw chaps. Okay, these chaps are made by Stihl. And these are designed specifically for chainsaw blades. Now, chainsaws, these chaps do not stop a chainsaw. Okay, they do not completely protect you from it. They slow down the blade. Well, they either slow down the blade, they can kick it off the bar, or they can also, it's a way for you to notify that you are cutting yourself, because sometimes you don't notice.
How do they slow down the blade?
Okay, well, inside these chaps, you have Kevlar hairs. Okay, you see I have a little rip and there's some right there.
Yeah.
Okay, these are all meshed on the inside of these chaps. And what they're designed to do is, as you cut your chaps, the little fibers pull out in a giant spool like yarn, and it turns into a big old mess. So while you're sawing, you will actually be able to notice down your bar, you'll see all these hairs flicking up. You'll see the color, you'll see the change, and you can register in your mind that you're sawing your leg. Because like I said, sometimes when you're in high brush, you feel constant pressure on your legs, on your shins, and you want to be able to identify as soon as possible when you're cutting your chaps, opposed to just a stick sitting on you. Okay? But what those little fibers also do is they get caught in the drive sprocket, which is located right underneath this faceplate here, and it's basically like a bicycle mechanism. It just drives the chain. So those fibers are designed to get underneath that, catch up in it, and then clog it up, which will help slow down your chain. Okay? And then the final bit is also throwing your chain. It can get underneath your drive sprocket and throw your chain off the bar, so it no longer has any power to it. Okay, but like I said, you have to watch out for those indicators, because it is not going to provide you an ultimate amount of protection. It's only to buy you some time.
So what are some of the PPE that he was talking about that we need to make sure we have on?
Chaps.
Chaps.
Gloves.
Gloves.
Earplugs.
Earplugs. Hard hat.
Mesh goggles.
Eye protection.
Eye protection. All right. Thank you very much, Richard. And we will continue with the rest of this series as the spring progresses.